What's up guys, LousyFlying here, first video of the channel, and we are flying today from Port Elizabeth west across to Cape Town International Airport. We're flying using CAW214, as you can see here. Our flight number today is CAW214. If you don't know, that CAW uses British Airways as well down here in South Africa, as well as CAW214, and they've got the newest aircraft in the country at the moment, simply because they're not part of the government. Fantastic colors here on the aircraft as well, Eurocar. So we're gonna move around the aircraft. As you can see, I've got GSX installed, handling by South African Airways. Catering surface is in progress. You can see the catering vehicles are in position and everything. And today's weather looks fairly okay, I guess. Cape Town at the moment is getting a bit windy. The clouds are moving into Cape Town and PE at the moment. On the ground there is zero wind on the meter. Zero wind and zero direction. So we'll be using the runway 26 for departure, which will go straight west. As you can see here, for some reason there's a lot of wind at 2300 feet, which is what the meter tells us. The meter at the moment, I'll read it out to you now. Zero wind at 0 degrees. Visibility is unlimited today. The clouds are scattered at 2300 feet. Temperature is 18, dew point 13. The QNH is 1020, which is the pressure in hectopascals. And GSX deciding to vanish. We'll quickly move into the cockpit. Here we are. Usually I'll tell you what the pilots would usually do the first time they come into the cockpit. First they would usually test the oxygen. You can do here. Then they come over here, they would align the nav, the IRS. That's for our GPS basically. You can do the stall warnings and airspeed warnings. It's done. These will test oxygen on both sides. It's good on right. Good on left. Come to the panel over here. You can arm emergency exit lights. No smoke can come on. Passing seat belts can come on. You can come down here. Yaw damping can come on. Navigation, VHF, nav, and IRS is on normal. FMC is on normal. Display is auto, normal. Fuel temperature is about 12 degrees at the moment. We don't have any fuel in the center tanks, so we'll leave those off. We can put the forward fuel pump on, so we can start the APU, like so. When we come on here, ground power is on at the moment. And we come up here, obviously we don't have cockpit video. Lights are off. Make sure all these buttons are working. Voice cockpit recorder is working. Come up this panel. This shows you what doors are open and what isn't. Obviously, forward and aft entry doors are open, and our service doors are open as well. Hydraulics we won't use for now. Anti-ice should stay off. Probe heats are off. Window heats we can turn on. Trimmer is on. Air temperatures on cabin. On continuous cabin here is also on auto. Forward cabin, aft cabin is on auto. Recirculation fans can come on. Left and right pack can come on. APU bleed can come off for now because we're not using it. Engine packs are on. Our cruising altitude today is 36,000. And you can probably put the wing lights on, I guess. for fun. If you use on, so you can arm those, and you can disconnect the ground power, which you could do over here. Obviously into our IRS, we can close our service doors. You can disconnect these if you don't need them. Parking brakes on. You can test the circuits. 3 green on left and right. Tests are working. That's working. We'll CAW214. We'll test that in a minute. Because I don't have a co-pilot today, we'll just use VHF1 on both sides, and we'll set to Unicom 122.8. Like so. Okay. QNH is 1020, which you can insert over here. That's set. So our current elevation is about just under 235 feet maybe. We can test these lights along. Those are all good. All the lights test. That's working. Everything seems good. Cool. Cancel that out. We can go here and we can insert our information. Current airport, Foxtrot, Alpha, Papa Echo, Port Elizabeth. We're at gate Alpha 5. I'm not sure if that's gonna insert. Oh, it does. Oops. The GPS left, we can copy that and we can paste it in there. We'll be using runway 26 for departure. We'll be obviously flying to Cape Town, Foxtrot Alpha Charlie Tango. And our call sign COM Charlie Alpha Whiskey 214. No ATC today because there's nothing at the moment over South Africa and Batsim, so we won't be using that. Next flight, however, we will be using ATC. There aren't any standard instrument departures for Port Elizabeth. As you can see, no SIDS, so we'll just go direct, which is Okrov. Via the upper Quebec 49er airway, then the upper Quebec 51 airway, that'll take us to Israk, from upper Quebec 49er to Israk, and then the upper Quebec 51 airway to Geeton. And current weather in Cape Town is about 160 degrees wind, so I'll probably be using runway 19er for arrival. So I think that's a Keaton 1 Bravo arrival, but we double check that as soon as we get closer to our top of descent. So we can activate that and execute. Preference inlet page, I don't worry too much about stuff like this. I think our transition altitude is 7,500. Cost index, South African Airways use 50, so I'm just going to use 50 anyway. Reserves is 1.2. Zero fuel weight 56.7. Our planned fuel is 5.9 tons. Cruising altitude is flight level 360, 36,000 feet. We can execute that. We'll be derating to 24,000 pounds of thrust. So we won't be using any of the other information here. Flaps of 5 for departure. Center of gravity 24.8%, which gives us a 4.93 unit trim, and we can enter the V speeds in there. Cool. We can probably start boarding, which means we need to open our cargo doors. I check that your cargo doors are open without looking outside and cheating. So yeah, forward cargo and after cargo, so doors are open. APU bleed can come on now, because we are switch the dual bleed light should come on, just that quick, yep. You can put all fuel pumps on. The hydraulic pumps, the B bus can come on. You can see the hydraulic pressure here. Pressure's rising in B. And obviously the bus A is off, so that's why it's low pressure. Check the engine. Oil quantity is also really good on both sides. Okay, we can set our V2 speed and so long onto our mode control panel, which is 145 knots. VRR and VRR2 come on. Put traffic and data on this side. Same side for both. And we can put terrain on. Initial climbs to 9,000 feet. Our runway heading, which is set here. (265 degrees) heading. You can set that in the course as well. On both sides. Flight Director 1 and Flight Director 2 can come on. Auto throttle armed. VNAV and obviously LNAV won't work because we know the standard instrument departure and not facing relative to our direction of flight or our flight plan. Okay, so all that's set. Passengers have been boarded. I think just the cargo needs to come in. If you wanted to do a checklist or walk around, you could do that another time. You just check the leading edge, trailing edge, engine, nav lights, the APU, the empennage, horizontal and vertical stabilizers, everything's good. Beta tubes looking good or whatever. It's obviously not modeled. I don't think damage is modeled on the PMDG, but you should make this a routine where you check anyway. Okay, I believe cargo's finished. You can check on this side if you want to. No, it's not. It's still busy. Close up passenger doors. Passengers have been boarded. We can set our trim 4.93. Just about there. We can test our traffic.
TCAS test. Pass.
Just a test, everything else, system test.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
That's all good. Cargo's loaded. You can close the cargo doors. You can disconnect wheel chocks. Our brakes can go into RTO, which is rejected takeoff. Everything else is looking good. Packs can come off for engine start. Anti-collision light on. And I just realized we don't need this because we have FSX. How stupid of me. So if you go to legs page or leave it on progress page, you see by the time we're in Cape Town we have 3.4 calculated tons left of fuel. As you can see here on the display, there's no fuel in our center tank. There's fuel in our left and right tanks in the wings, about 2.9 tons on each side. This is 2,940 kilograms, so that's 2,950. Reason being is our auxiliary power unit, which is up here, which generates the power for the aircraft when the engines aren't running. That's on, and that uses fuel. Those you don't know, ever wondered what this thing is at the back? Wait. Ever wondered what that is? That's the auxiliary power unit exhaust. That's nothing to do with engines. There's not an exhaust that propels the aircraft forward or anything. The auxiliary power unit is in the back here, and that generates the power for the aircraft. Engines have nothing to do with that. Cool, so we can ask GSX for pushback, nose right. Do you want to start engines before pushback? No, we don't. For some reason, I actually haven't noticed this, the yolks are black. It's not to be racial or anything, but I've never seen that in any other 737. We may as well do our pre-flight checklist now, which I have in front of me. Pins and covers are removed. Oxygen tested 100% on either side. Nav transfer and display switches are normal and auto. Window heat is on. Air condition and pressure. Packs are off. Bleeds on and set. Flight instruments. We're tracking 355 degrees at the moment on both sides. Our QNH at the moment we've changed to 1019 hectopascals. Our reading is about 235 feet. Parking brakes set. Engine start levels are on cut-off. Rudder and aileron trims are free and zero. Taxi and takeoff briefing has been completed. Fuel is 5.9 tons. Passenger signs are set. Auto brakes RTO. CDU pre-flight and ACARs are completed. We're not using ACARs for this flight though. Takeoff speeds. V1 is 134. Rotate 135. V2 145 degrees. Oh, I mean knots, my bad. Mode control panel. Our V2 speed is set 145 knots. Runway heading of 265 degrees. Initial climbs to 9,000 feet. Set. Release 4-star checklist. Flight deck doors closed and locked. Doors and windows are closed. Isn't modeled, but they are closed. Anti-collision lights on. Transponder is squawking 2000 on standby. So before start checklist is complete, going to bring up the engine page here. Release parking brakes. Okay, pushback's commencing. We'll do a 2-1 engine start sequence. So we go over here, start engine 2. And we wait for N2 to rise to about 20% before we inject fuel. Which is there. And watch the engine spool up. pressure's rising, fuel flow's good, oil temperature's rising, quantity's good. If anyone out there wants to, like I'm very much open to criticism. If I'm doing something wrong or not doing it the right way, please tell me. I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I just know what I've been reading up about or trying to learn from. Start engine 1. It's a good start on engine 2, stabilized. It's 20% on engine 2. Switch the fuel to idle intent. Our lights on. Gen 1 and 2 can come on, APU can come off, UB can come off, taxi can come on, all hydraulic pumps can come on, and probes can come on. Everything else looks good. So before taxi checklist, generators are on, probe leads on, anti-ice isn't required, air conditioning pressure, packs on auto, isolation valves on auto, engine start switches on continuous, recall, recalls checked, engine start levers are on idle intent, flight controls you can check, full down, full up, left, right, rudder, left, centered, full right, centered. Flight controls are checked. Set flaps to 3, well sorry to 5, which is position 3. Flap indicators up here, so 5 degrees. 5 degrees, then our flaps are set and take off. Ground equipment is clear, APU is off, so full taxi checklist is complete. So we'll start our taxi. Lock brake come off. We can add a bit of power to move the aircraft. Some random reason my joystick's very sensitive, or rather the PMDG or throttle is very sensitive to my joystick's throttle. So I can add off lock time here to say our co-pilot chronometer. I'm using Active Sky next to my weather, by the way, so that's accurate weather. Those who don't know what Active Sky next is, it gives you live weather of the current positions, very very accurate. If there's a cloud there, there really is a cloud there in real life. So yeah, that's quite jazz. Also using Orbix, FTX Global, and Orbix trees. We're ready for departure. Just bound brakes, there's no traffic, so you may presume that we are clear for takeoff. TARA is on. Lights come on, taxi light off. Just start levers on the flight. That lights can come on. Whoop. Right turn. Just line up. Very, very bad lineup. Just a little bit to the left. Okay, got the brakes off. Full takeoff checklist. Flaps, 5 degrees, plan. And we have all green lights. Green lights there. Stabilizer trim is 4.97 units. Sorry, correction, 4.93 units, which is set. Put that on the next page. Cabin call, I would presume has been given. So before takeoff checklist is complete. It's set. 60% now. Tow damage, so yeah, that button. Okay, knots. V1. V1. Rotate.
V2.
Positive rate, you're up. Gears up, no reds. Bit of turbulence. Still in manual flight. The all nav will come on, yep, and we can put the autopilot on. Flaps 1. And flap 0. Alpha takeoff checklist. Engine leads are on. Packs are on auto. Landing gears up and off. Flaps are up, no lights. Altimeters are set and cross-checked 1019 on both sides. 1019. We are going through a cloud, so we can't see anything. Set our climb altitude, or cruising altitude, 36,000. Pass, set our dimension pressure to standard. Getting a bit of turbulence along the way. And pass the flag. feet, our lights will come off. Feet. Lights off. And wing lights off. And stop signs. Especially from now on, we're just going to climb to our cruising altitude of 36,000 feet, which is just under 11 kilometers above sea level. And there's no standing achievement departure to look at, so we're not going to bother. We're just going straight to Okra. I think follow our flight plan all the way down to Eton, and then I think that might be the Eton one rather than arrival, but we'll check that on our top of descent for the Cape Town meetup. Other than that, I'll see you on the next video, which will be from our top of descent into Cape Town International. Have a good one. Thank you.